make me.
Okay, so for those that have finished, we'll start a new document. For this, again, we'll choose a web preset and we'll give it a name. For this, we will choose face overlay. Okay? And then your last name. And for those of you that are still working on your face merge, don't worry, because I'll record this and upload it to Facebook so you can follow it on if you want. But this task won't be due for next week. This is just extra material because we have so much time left. So once we've done that, we'll set the size to 1080 by 768. We want 72 pixels, RGB, transparent. We'll hit OK. And now we'll place your face this time. So just going back to wherever you saved your face. Who will I choose this time? Maybe this one. And we just want to place your face. Once you have it placed, just hit enter or hit the tick. Yep. So now what we want to do is you want to go to the internet, to Google Images. And you want to find a flag from your country. So try to find one that looks somewhat realistic. And a good option is always to change the tools to size to large. And that means you're only downloading the largest file sizes. So I think I would choose this image here. We'll view the image to make sure the quality is okay before we download. So I'll save this image. Call it whatever you want. And once you've got that image of the flag saved, we just want to place that on top. Now, once you've got it placed in Photoshop, we want to hit the Control T, which means we can transform it. And then we want to stretch it over your face. So it doesn't matter if you're not proportional. We just want to keep it somewhat covering your face, like this. And then you hit the tick to approve. Everyone following along? And now the next thing we want to do is we want to pinch. So essentially what we're saying is we want this image to sit over our face. So we need to warp this image to make it look like it's curved to the curvature of our face. And so to do that, everyone good? To do that, we'll go up to Filter. Distort and pinch. And now this is something you need to sort of do via eye by adjusting the amount of pinch. I think you should probably use negatives. That means that you're coming in an outward motion rather than in. And you can see in the preview, it's making it look more round. You see? So we want it to somewhat sit to the curvature of your face. So using your eye, maybe I think this is probably good. -38 or so. Yours will be different because you'll have a different size image. So once you have that, you'll hit OK. Next thing we want to do is we want to select your face. So I just hide the face of the image of the flag by hitting the eye, so it hides that layer. We'll select the layer of your face below. And now using the quick selection tool, it's the fourth option down. Maybe it's not showing, you just hold down and you can select it. Quick selection tool. And now what this tool does is very similar to last week, where you have the computer determining if the pixel next to the pixel you've selected is of a greater distance. So if we say select this grey background, all the pixels are very similar in color. So the computer is identifying that and that's selecting all of it. But when you have something like skin, the computer has a much harder trouble selecting just one color. But what we'll do is we'll use this option to select the face. So just deselect. And you only want the face. So try to go as close to the hairline as you can. But if it happens like this, that you've selected too much, hold down the Alt key and then deselect the hair. So Alt allows you to deselect. So while holding down Alt, I'll just go over the hair. And the computer's constantly thinking, is this pixel close to the pixel next to it? And we just want to try to eliminate as much of that hair and ears as possible, like this. Maybe you have, like here, I have some selection up in the top corner. If you want, you can just use the marquee tool. Polygon lasso tool is easiest. Oops. Just holding down Alt, we can deselect those. So next thing we want to do, once we have that face selected, we want to go back, turn on the flag, select the flag layer, and we want to go mask. So if we hit the mask whilst we've got a selection, it automatically determines that selection as the size of your mask. So once you have your selection, we just want to turn back on the layer with your flag. We want to select that flag. And then the same as the previous photo, we want to add a mask. So down the bottom here, add layer mask. And what you'll see is once you've got a selection already selected, if we hit that mask tool, it automatically places that selection as the mask. Everyone following along? So you can see here that the mask is not very nice. There's like rough edges. So the tool we want to use next is called Refine Edge. And what this does, I'll show you. If you hit the mask, select the mask, go right click, and go Refine Mask. Firstly, is everyone following along? Is anyone behind a couple steps that needs time? No? Everyone's okay? Great. So we'll go Refine Mask, and you see that the page has gone red, or maybe that you've got something different like a selection. We just want to chuck this view to overlay so we can see what's going on. And now, next thing we want to do is hit Smart Radius. And now what we want to do here is we want to deselect the hair And what we can do is just draw along the hairline like this. If you need to bring the radius up, it might help a bit. And hit OK. And you can see it blends, but that's probably not what we want, actually. So maybe try drawing on the face instead of the hair, actually. That's probably a better option. Nope. You can change the way you view it, so maybe the overlay of red is not clear enough. You can go black and white. And you can see here that's not what we want, so maybe we try to be more precise around the edge. Essentially what we're doing is we're wanting the computer to generate a better selection around the hair and ears. And it's not working.
Are you sure there is a right of the page?
Mm-hmm. So once you have the flag overlaid, you want to select that flag layer. You go up to Filter, Distort, and Pinch. And here you can select via eye what the size should be.
Yeah.
Is anyone else having trouble, like when I'm doing the refine mask, it's becoming too messy? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I just realized. It's because we have the wrong layer selected. So firstly, we should chuck it, yeah, I'll go back a couple steps, sorry. So before we add the mask to the flag, we want to add the mask to your face. So when you have that selection, you should be able to go Control Z, and maybe you have to go Control Alt Z to go back some steps. But please go back to the step where you just have the face selected. Sorry. And if you need to, you can always use this tool here, which is a history tool. And you can change, go backwards and forwards much easier, just by selecting where you want to go back in your timeline. Everyone at this step? Okay, so now we'll add the mask to your photo, not the flag. You'll see like this. And then we'll go refine edge or refine mask. And then again, we want to do the same as before. So hopefully once you have done the refine edge, you should have a picture that where the hairs don't actually show up. Like you'll see that it's using the computer to determine where your hair is. Maybe I'll show you on black so it's easier. It's cutting out where your hair is, and that's what we want. So who's at this step now? No one? Okay. Is anyone having trouble? Yeah. Yeah, you probably only need to go where you have hair, because this is going to eliminate the finer detail. But make sure you have smart radius selected. And you want to make sure that this crosshair is as far away from the face, and you only have a little bit of that circle covering. Yeah. I know, it looks funny, but once you overlay it, it should be okay. Is anyone having trouble? Yeah, so you don't need to do the smart selection around your entire face, only where you have hair, or maybe your ears or something like this. And you must be really careful with maybe cancel. Yeah, so here you must be more precise when you start the layer mask, like you must do it in the ears. And the rest I think will take the key. So we'll go refine it. And here you just want to see how firstly so it's not radius. You want to keep it just far from the face, but with a little bit on the left. Trying to eliminate where the hair is, but here is going to be a bit tricky, but it should be okay. It shouldn't matter. Yeah, this is just visualizing it. So this one, it's just how you see it. So this is the default, and you can see the red is what is going to be deselected. So maybe we go black and white. It's easy to see. So yeah, I think you can see black will be deleted. So you can see here, you select the hairs that are covering our face, and they will be removed. But here, it's the other story. You just selected the background that will be shown. So if we select this, let's go back. And then control Z will work. So here it's the opposite, because we're trying to get black shot, but I think you can't go back once you have this selected. But I think having trouble? No? Okay, so now we've refined the layer mask. We want to change the layer mask from your face to the flag. So it's as simple as dragging and dropping. Did everyone see that? You're just going to select your mask and drag it onto your flag. And when you turn that layer mask back on, you can see whether or not you've done a good job in refining the edge, and I have not. If you drag it on top and you think your refined edge is not good enough, you can just go backwards and do it again. It's better. Okay, so now we'll have a flag that's completely covering your face. So we'll select that flag layer, making sure you're selecting the actual layer and not the mask. There's a difference. We want to select the layer, and now we'll change that to color burn. So you see the drop down menu just above the layers. Currently it should be selected to normal. What we want to change that to is color burn. Now what these options do is decide how your layer is stacked above the other. It's a custom preset that takes into account saturation, transparency, all sorts of things. And they're a really quick way to get a good look really fast. Maybe color burn is a bit dark. We can try screen. But this is too much. We want to make it look like a face tattoo. Overlay. I think we'll go color burn, but maybe the Australian flag is too dark, so I will just brighten it up real quick by adding an exposure. Okay. So maybe you didn't need to do that step because your flag is much brighter, but for me the Australian flag is too dark, so I have had to lighten it. So everyone should have something like this. Yes? Does anyone not have this? Are they not at this step? No? Okay, so the next thing we want to do is select your mask, and you can see we have things like the eyes and the mouth that should not be colored. So what we'll do is using the paintbrush, and remember that the layer mask works in binary, black or white. So for this we want to remove information. So we use black to delete. Just choose an appropriate brush head and brush size. Maybe you need to zoom in. We just want to remove this. And don't be scared to change the brush size. And same with the eyes. And now if there's something like a mistake here, like I can see this ear, you can just remove this as well. Just be careful that you do it so it looks like it is correctly aligned to the face. And you can always change the brush preset. So here, maybe I want something like less soft, so you can change the brush preset to anything you want. So, who's finished? Yeah, this is great. Maybe some flags work better than others, I think. Now maybe your flag has like a lot of white or something on it, so the color burn does not work. So you can change the layer overlay option to something different. Maybe it will work better. So what I mean is here, maybe color burn is like a good option if you have lots of dark colors, but maybe you have something that's a lot of white or something like yellow. You can change this to another color, maybe something with light. Just be careful you don't make it look like too faint. So you can play around with all these. It's a really useful tool in Photoshop, and I think you should all get familiar with what each one of these layer overlays do, because for presentations you will use them all the time. And then once again, once you've finished, just crop the image to get rid of the background like we did last time. So maybe you want a new layer. And then you inside of the glass. Maybe I'll just show you and you can come back and change. So maybe it is you want to show up. So you can go Control C. Yeah. And then Control V. Actually, it's Control Shift V, but it's working in instant. And so maybe we can just make this. Yeah, actually, we don't want this. We want to do this. So. So here we'll change it to something like overlay.
I don't think it's purpose.
Also add something to separate.
See, when I do my I think that's
It's actually really hard to do. I'm not sure what is the option to create a new layer above. And then this layer should have like an overlay. Because we're copying the type of your eyes and then copy. Yeah, so this is and now you can adjust this. Say, I'm not sure what about the basically, but maybe it's or something like this. And I don't know, favorite things. And what are they going to make the glass up there? Or you want to like, make it look more white or something, but you have it separated and everything. So everyone has finished and cropped their image. So once you've finished this image, it's not mandatory that you upload to Facebook, but please do. I think it's fun. So save the work on Facebook under your name. But we won't grade you on this. So if you don't finish this, it's okay. It's an extra task. But the original face merge is. And does anyone have any questions about the tools they've learnt today? Or how you might use them in, say, like a presentation? No?